Hey guys, welcome to Bunny Data. I'm Bunny, your host for this one. Please follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Bunny Data. Appreciate it. Tonight we have a WeLikeDota League match going on. It's a best of 3 series single elimination between the Canehdians and Huge Douches. So we're in Captain's mode, regular tournament format. I'll be solo casting tonight. You can feel free to tune into Last Talon's stream as well. He'll be covering this from his angle. I think he's got a co-caster as well. Wonder who that was.
5 seconds.
Sorry, I can't see at the moment. But we'll give him a nod as soon as we can figure out who that is. So some quick bans coming out. Faceless Void, Razor. Pretty typical first bans. Not a lot to say about that, except that they've both been banned pretty frequently in the league matches so far. Death Prophet, a strong pusher, and also one of the top priority picks in the league, so not surprising there either.
Seconds to go.
So it looks like Radiant are really looking to nail down the mid hero counter picks. I wonder if that means they're going to pick a mid.
Radiant's pick.
Undying. That's an interesting ban. I don't think I've seen that as a high priority ban in the past. That might be a respect ban going out against Team HD here.
Warlock. Dyer's pick.
And I don't think that was their mid pickup, so...
Witch Doctor.
My guess would be that they were actually looking to pick up something mid that was very physical dependent. If they were banning out the Razor and the Death Prophet. So it looks like it's a war of the first pick AoE supports. Warlock and Witch Doctor. Both reasonable, both very flexible.
10 seconds to go.
Not giving a lot of clues as to
5 seconds.
how they want their strategy to proceed in Game 1.
Vengeful Spirit. Radiant's pick.
And another open pick from the Canehdians. Though Vengeful Spirit as a support does lend itself well to a tri-lane. I wouldn't be surprised if they were going to go an aggressive one. And there's a PA pick on the HD side, which is probably why they were looking to limit the Razor. Banning out the Magnus. And that's definitely got to be a respect ban against the Canehdians. We've seen them play a Magnus to great effect, I think on Hoju Simpson's side. That was probably a good pickup.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's back.
EA's been picking up a lot of play lately, because of the Forseer's contract minigame thing, of course. Been seeing a lot of her. I wonder if they'll respond with something like a Brewmaster or something that limits the right-click potential of the PA. There's an axe leaving the board of possible plays.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Dyer's pick.
And Necrophos, banned by the Canehdians. He's a strong all-arounder, very flexible pick, can play support or carry. Semi-carry, maybe. I guess that's debatable. Though he does enjoy quite a bit of success on Dota Buff in terms of the game impact rating scale. Usually floats somewhere in the top 5.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Silencer.
Radiant's pick.
Yeah, Silencer is a strong pickup. has been enjoying quite a lot of success in the latest patches. Not really sure if he does a lot to the PA. His silence is kind of hurtful to the Warlock. But it does give HD a chance to respond into this, and they pick a Jakiro anyway.
Dyer's pick.
An interesting take to take the Jakiro into that. Is a strong pushing option, but definitely a lane support. I somehow doubt they're going to go a defensive tri-lane with PA, Jakiro, and Warlock all in the same easy lane. So...
5 seconds.
Oh, and there's a Gyro.
Radiant's pick.
So that may be their mid there.
Drow Ranger.
Dyer's ban.
And it looks like that's a Drow Ranger counter pick.
Radiant's ban.
Drow can be pretty scary. She kind of fell off previous to the 6.82 patch,
10 seconds to go.
being way overpowered in the patch before that, probably like, what, maybe 9 months to a year ago at this point. But
Reserve time.
Drow Ranger's coming back a little bit now that her Gust was reworked. She's not really much to look at in the early stages of the game, but once she gets a little bit of farm and some levels behind her, she speeds up quite a lot. Her attack animation is so slow in the beginning, she takes a lot of work to farm, but later on she can be very effective, especially if she's had a good early game. Now we're just waiting on the last ban on the Radiant side, and then the last picks here. Oh, and it looks like it's Tidehunter.
Dyer's pick.
So they're definitely shopping to snipe out the hard lane pickups on the Canehdians. The Canehdians look like they do definitely need their off lane. I still would probably
10
like that
seconds to
Brewmaster
go.
against the Drow Ranger and the
seconds.
Phantom Assassin, which are their major sources of right-click damage. That would be a strong pickup.
Reserve time.
But I don't know if they have something different in mind. I guess they could run the Silencer in the off lane. He can solo pretty well. But I don't think I see that too often. And the Gyro tends to be a little bit vulnerable as well. Despite his early damage potential, he is kind of squishy, so if he gets ganked, he's pretty susceptible to it. He's kind of slow, and he has a pretty low health pool. On the Radiant side, they're also kind of looking for an offlaner.
Radiant's pick.
So Weaver, and there's a Broodmother. Good pickup. Looks like HD has picked up a lot of potential for push. Between the Jakiro and the Broodmother, they can put a lot of pressure on map positions. So I think it's probably going to be a race in terms of the
Let's keep
ability
it
of
clean,
the
folks.
push potential from HD versus the
Better get ready.
kind of scalability and early damage and takeover potential that Radiant is looking to field. Okay, so just running through the names real quick before we get some early action because it looks like they're moving fast. On the Dire side, we have Sheiktal on the Gyrocopter. We've got Witch Doctor played by Amarinil, Adumus playing the Vengeful Spirit, followed in succession by Hoju Simpson on the Silencer. On the Weaver, we have, let's see, Civil Pirate. Oh, that's a nice name. Okay. On the Radiant side, we have Zack on the PA. Captain Trips is on the Drow Ranger. Jakiro is quickly moving to position by Kyler. In the off lane, we've got Broodmother with
30 seconds to
Le Carpatron Duke Marriott. And on the Warlock, we have the Glester. Oh, quit moving so I can read your name. The Glester Harden Kichud. Thank you for complying. I think that's actually Hugh Jadouche himself. Okay, so early, we've got them raiding the Radiant Jungle here. And
Here we go.
they did split wards. They give one over to Broodmother? Yeah, they gave one to Broodmother. I see. And Gyrocopter is leaving so they can go take mid position. And they're still invading the jungle here, probably looking for an early kill. If Radiant had been out of position there, they, I think they were hoping to capitalize on it. But Radiant moving as 3, which is interesting. So we're definitely going to have a defensive tri-lane. Probably just to make sure that PA has a safe early game. I think they're capitalizing on that as their one. A little bit of jockeying for position, waiting for the last hits to come up. A little bit of harass coming off the Jakiro. Hoju Simpson eating the Ember. Ember does a lot of damage over time. Not a bad harass tool in the tri-lane. And there was a good 3-man curse. The AoE can be kind of dangerous against the Silencer, and pinging out the Jakiro, telling him to get back. Looks like they're going to back off a bit. Let's see how the other lanes are doing here. And it looks like we have Gyro taking the early lead on last hits against the Drow Ranger, but only by 1 and 2 denies. Nothing too serious just as of yet. It looks like they still have a fair amount of regen on both of them. And Gyro's almost to his bottle. There he goes with some homing missile harass. In the off lane, got the War of the Invisible Heroes, Weaver versus the Broodmother. Both of them trying to gain position. Probably, ooh. Broodmother getting a little low. Bit of a gambit to get that low, but at least they have the Sentry Ward. I'm sure they're watching the other lanes to see how far they can push this. Probably trying to play aggressively since they have the advantage in a 1v1 against a Weaver in terms of pushing potential. All the little spiderlings multiplying quickly. Anytime they get that last hit on a creep, they are getting that advantage of like multiples. And at some point, that's a dangerous stack to go in on one. It's interesting they're stacked as one here. An interesting invisible harass game going on. Yeah, the tri-lane's doing. Looks like more harass coming out from the Silencer. This one of the... Oh, and first blood by Hoju Simpson, killing Kyler.
Last word.
Nicely played.
Ouch.
That silence or harass is really, really annoying. It puts down a surprising amount of damage. The PA is still on 2 tangos and a quelling blade, but still has 950 in the bank. Should be able to shop soon. I'm not sure what she's going to go for first. Oh, and another 3-man curse. That curse is just brutal in the laning phase. So much harass, and AoE. HD's going to have to be careful not to get spammed in a tight cluster like that against the silencer. Looks like we've gotten invisibility on the Vengeful Spirit, so they're looking for a position. We don't see them yet, though that ice path probably disrupted them a lot. They're going for it anyway. They do end up getting the Warlock. So despite the ice path, it was a successful gank. An interesting 3v3 setup there. It looks like we have the War of the Wards here, which is a really good pickup when you have to deal with so much of this invis on invis hero stuff. Whoever can control the sentry ward position will have the advantage in that matchup. Weaver doing everything he can to farm, but gonna have some trouble. There's a ping coming out. I missed where it was, but the mid contest we've got Drow sitting at 10, 11 last hits, Gyrocopter at 32 and 6. So Gyrocopter definitely scaling better at this point. Let's see what his items look like. He does have his bottle. That's a nice custom homing missile. Love hats. And yeah, you can see Drow's kind of hurting on the Ring of Aquila, but not really a lot else. And there's an aggressive observer ward, which really allows some map dominance and some vision control, seeing the high ground from the river. That's going to hurt a lot. And the ability to have the bottle first, when Drow isn't really close to hers, is going to be telling for a lot of regen. There's a ping going out on the Venge. They spotted the Venge running down the river, but Venge probably won't go mid. She's just picking up the haste rune. Coming back to lane. Oh, nicely timed ice path. Ooh, it looks like Broodmother is going on the Weaver, diving. There's a courier. Popping down a sentry ward so she can see, gaining a little extra invisibility so that she can be safe. She did have her ultimate, and her ultimate was popped. And her ultimate does give her a vampiric attack, so a little bit of lifesteal and a bonus attack damage, which is nice. She really almost had him. And at very least, well, maybe not almost had him, he still had a good amount of health left, but he is running back to base. He is forced out of lane, which gives Broodmother a lot of free farm and possibly a little bit of push damage on the tower before Weaver can get back to lane. Of course, Weaver TPing back to lane as quickly as possible. And that Curse of the Silent just wreaking havoc. Seems to always be catching out 2 or 3 heroes. A very effective use of its AoE.
Mid tower's coming apart.
And it looks like I missed a kill.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Yeah, Gyrocopter just having dominance in the mid lane. having a pretty good game.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Weaver just buying power treads.
Radiant's mid tower ain't doing
And
so
already
good.
the mid tower falls. Drow's a little bit lost at the moment. She has to find some farms, so she's going to take some jungle creeps to try to scale into the mid game.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Yeah, and the Invisibles going after each other again. You can see the Sentry Ward really do an effective job. That was actually a good position for it, of making the Weaver
Radiant's top tower's
have to run
bad
all the
shape.
way back and not counting on his invisibility in order to
2 down.
escape an engagement. We've got 4 in lane. The Canehdians pushing the bottom lane, and it looks like I missed a major series of kills. Here's the fight recap. Wow, look at all the abilities coming out. 932 XP change. Looks like I missed the threw down a Shadow Word and Ice Path, but must have gotten ganked pretty heavily by the 4-man team.
Bottom tower. No breaking down the radiant structures like this.
They're responding heavily to this, bringing 4 heroes down onto the Radiant easy lane. Well, EA's headed back. But Broodmother in the easy lane must have decided they needed a rotation. And that's a smart thing to do if you're losing your lane, to call for some help, make a change in your game plan. If you sit passively and let the other team kind of execute their plan, you're in trouble. Jakiro in trouble. Oh, so much damage coming down with the combination of both the homing missile and the rocket barrage. That rocket barrage just putting down so much damage once it nukes you away from the creeps. It's hard to get away from. Oh, and there's a silencer going down. Broodmother catching him out. Not even catching him out necessarily, but just going on him, just straight face to face. Also taking down the Witch Doctor before she falls to a DD Gyrocopter. And that Gyrocopter showing his dominance on the runes. Paying off with the bottle position. And they'll put a lot of damage on tower here.
Tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
It's got a full wave of creeps. Plus his own damage, plus Venge's damage. And there goes the tower.
Radiant
Nothing that Jakiro can do about it. Jakiro just backs off, which is the wise thing to do. Instead of giving them an opportunity to get a kill, there was nothing effective to do further down in the lane. EA switched to mid to catch a little farm. Let's see how that XP is going. And yeah, the Dire side is taking over on the XP gain. Got Gyrocopter and Weaver leading the charts. But I guess Weaver wasn't doing so bad against the Broodmother that he was catching a lot of experience. Broodmother is leading for the Radiant side.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
Weaver saving up for a big
Radiant's
item.
top tower's taking hits. Radiant's gone and fortified their structures.
Here comes the response. So there's a little bit of a Fatal Bonds harass there, but
Radiant's mid tower's
with no
getting
creeps
banged up.
to project the damage onto, it'll probably just fade away without actually putting much damage on them all. And here comes a rotation from Witch Doctor looking for a stun. He doesn't cast just yet. They're going on the Witch Doctor. PA blinking in on him. There comes the silence. And gets some refreshed health. But he's not going to fall there. The counter initiation going deep, diving on the Jakiro. Here comes the Gyro looking for a kill. Gets it. There's another chase on River. They're going hard after, oh, and getting
Radiant's
a
top
monster
tower's hurting.
kill. Very nice. Very nicely done. Huge XP change. Huge gold change.
One last top tower for the
All the
Radiant.
abilities coming out. Plus a tower. Dire taking a commanding position in the early game.
Guess what's happening?
Looks like it's up to Broodmother to put pressure down. Actually not having a bad game so far, but
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
while she's off split pushing, she usually needs her team to be able to hold down the defenses. And so far, it's been a tough go. A few warning pings coming out. Gyro is hunting the Broodmother. And she races back. Oh, she was actually diving on the Venge. Oh, it's caught out by so much damage there. Just some cleanup on the Spiderlings now. Very nice rotations. Some quick, unexpected speed. Moving to the different lanes is giving the Dire side some advantages in terms of map dominance here. And there was a ping, probably to indicate that the Ancients are stacked on the Dire side.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
It looks like there's another stack. They're going to triple stack that for the Gyro. And the Weaver's going to go after the Broodmother. They've been having that fight all game long. Do you have any vision? Nope, no vision. Gonna have a really hard time doing anything effective against the Broodmother until he has vision. Really needs some sentry wards or some dust. A lot of the times I do like the dust, but in the 1v1 versus the Broodmother I would prefer the sentry wards, I think. Give you that static vision within her web radius. Gyrocopter is by far and away leading the net worth. He's got his helm with the Dominator. Picking up the bounty rune. Popping the drums so that they can see if they can go on the Broodmother. She leaves her Spiderlings behind and runs off into the webs. And that's a lot of flat cannon damage to farm up gold on Spiderlings. That is one thing against the Spiderlings, against a flat cannon enabled Gyrocopters. They do die and feed him a lot of gold. So that's a pretty dangerous situation to be in if you're on the Broodmother side. There's a homing missile. Does have it tracked on the Broodmother, but no vision, so he just goes back to pushing the lane out instead. The top lane, we've got Weaver versus PA now. And now this is where Weaver's invisibility will shine.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Comes another missile. And here's Avenge. Does she have vision? She does have a sentry ward. She should be able to throw it down. There's the sentry ward. Now with the vision, Broodmother will fall. Nicely played. Now, unless Radiant rotates to bottom lane, they should be able to push all the way up to tower. Here comes a TP. Very smart to TP behind the tower. I've seen too many people TP in front of it, which is really dangerous, especially when you're facing an aggressive push. So he does get down to successful Fatal Bonds, but he's going to eat a missile for his trouble.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. Dire's mid tower's having.
Here's the Jakiro, throwing down damage. That was smart too, to take advantage of the Fatal Bonds. If you're not familiar with it, the way that the Fatal Bonds work, it does reflect damage. 25% damage dealt to one of the people under Fatal Bonds will spread to the rest who have that kind of debuff on them. And they're still under the influence of the Fatal Bonds too, so. A lot of pings going out. It looks like they're looking for a fight. There comes the Curse of the Silent again. And Gyrocopter throwing down his ult. And again, eating a ton of spiders. There's lots of gold. And he's got his MKB up. EA is not building Butterfly. I wonder if she'll notice that he's building the MKB and avoid it. Might not be on her priority list of builds either, so we'll see. It's really tough in this position for the Radiant, because Broodmother with all her pushing potential, and she's been doing a good job trying to put pressure on, trying to put on map control, trying to utilize invisibility to her advantage, but without having the kind of hammer and anvil where your teammates are the anvil against which they're the immovable force for the opponent's team, that hammer strike actually just leaves you vulnerable, extended into positions and lanes. Benj just looking to make sure there's no dire attempts. And guarding the rune as well.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business. Dire's bottom tower got blown.
Yeah, PA's doing. She's got her Mask of Madness. Still on a very limited selection of items. Not a lot of damage potential, not a lot to help her with her farm other than the Morbid Mask. Which really just helps her sustain rather than her actual farm damage. Here's Gyro going on the Jakiro. The Jakiro going to eat a missile and going to take some extra damage. Probably going to fall here.
How many that was?
The longer you let the missile chase you, the more damage it does. So, the extended chase... I mean, not that there was a good escape in that particular situation anyway, but explaining why that was enough to actually bring her down with the one missile hit. It looks like he does have his homing missile at level 4. Actually, all of his skills are maxed level. And so far, Gyrocopter having a perfect game at 10 kills and 0 deaths. Got some wards up here too. They have vision, they have map control, and they're not suffering too much from the Broodmother's split push attempts. So far, looks like the Canehdians are pulling ahead on this one. What enables Gyro to actually farm this well is because they have the vision and map control. That's actually a tricky place for Broodmother to be in if they have any sort of vision. Oh, and look at all the dust. 2 split stacks of 2 dust and 1 dust. If she shows herself, she is so dead. Oh, but they had already rotated to mid, so... Oh, Jakiro falls. There's the homing missile chasing the PA. That's going to be ugly. Drow Ranger tries to shoot it down, but doesn't have the time. Gyrocopter moving in on the Drow Ranger. Not going to get her, but enough lane control that they're going to nuke down this wave and take the tower.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower's in trouble.
Now with a 19-6 kill lead, they really just need to break high ground before it's going to be pretty much game over.
Toughened up their structures.
Radiant's kind of stuck in a position where they have to castle and try to reach out and just take safe farm. But it's a precarious position to be in, that's for sure. going to be really difficult for them to get back into this game. Their hope does lie with the PA. She needs to get farmed, so she is the one extending, trying to catch farm where she considers it safe and backing off immediately. It's the right thing to do. Gyrocopter diving really deep into enemy territory. Homing missile still chasing down the Chikiro. There come the ultimate blasts. Moving as 4 to support. 4 or 5? Moving as 5 to support. Even better. Witch Doctor with his heal, making sure that everybody's in a good position to siege the high ground. Here come the creeps. Backdoor protection is turned off. Does not even care. Just throwing out his missile barrage to clear the creep wave as quickly as possible. Taking down the tower. Tower is broken.
There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
Creeps doing the job of frontline infantry. And this barracks is going to fall pretty darn fast.
Radiant's bottom.
Not satisfied with that. Looks like they should be able to take the second. No. Looks like they're going to back off.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulty. Radiant's top tower.
A little bit of a scrimmage here in mid lane. Surprisingly, Brood Mother has been at work this whole time.
Hang on to that mid tower.
Trying to do everything she can to pressure lanes. Which again is the right thing to do. Unfortunately, she is kind of a one-trick pony. She does have her invisibility and her lane pushing potential, but when she gets caught out by good rotations, good dust, good vision, she doesn't have a lot to offer a team who's falling behind elsewhere. And there's a solo Roche coming down by Gyrocopter. Holding on to a ton of money. Probably for buyback potential here. There is a Radiance on the Weaver. So they do get the Roche. Vengeful Spirit will take it. A good option when everybody else is kind of already stacked, so that she can kind of fearlessly throw down her swaps. There's that harass missile. Probably won't have too much of an effect, other than just chasing people off. They are able to escape to the high ground out of vision. Brood Mother going in. Pretty dangerous. Good ice path. Catches 2 of them out. Vengeful Spirit will fall, but she's coming back with the Aegis. Rest of the team comes in. There's the swap. Picks off the Warlock. Nowhere to run. And that was a trade 5 for 1. Pretty rough, and they'll be able to break B high ground at mid as well. Taking down the tower, nuking down the barracks. And this is going to be game.
There goes the Radiant's mid-rax. Radiant's mid-rax is out of the picture.
Well, thanks for tuning in for Game 1, guys. I appreciate it. We're gonna take a we're gonna take a 10-minute break, most likely, and then we will head back for Game 2 of the WeLikeDota League match. Canehdians taking the victory against Team HD. We'll see you in just a bit.